All right, so I just came through security and I am actually currently at the Hyderabad Airport and I'm about to actually fly domestic. So I am actually going to a city called Ranchi today. And it's actually for a little project that I'm doing here in India. I may share that more later as I roam around the rural parts of India. But this is what the Hyderabad Airport looks like here. The domestic, at least the domestic side. The international, I think, is a little bit bigger in Hyderabad. The domestic airport is slightly smaller. They have less places to eat and less stores generally. Wanted to take the camera out earlier, like before I checked in, but there was just so much crowd when I was entering the airport. And then in India, so it's really interesting. It only happens in India. It doesn't happen in like a lot of other countries, or at least most of the countries this doesn't happen. But in India, how it works is before you enter in the airport, they actually check your ticket, your flight ticket, and check your passport. So you're not allowed to enter the airport unless you're actually flying. So if you have like friends, family that want to give you goodbyes, in India they have to kind of, and if they're not flying with you, then your friends' family have to sort of stay out of the airport. They can't actually come in to the check-in counter and like wave you goodbye once you are entering through the security. I think it's also because there are just so many people in India, so they don't want a lot of people just logging around. Okay, I need to go to the airport quickly. I need to go to the bathroom quickly, and then I will continue taking more video of the airport once I go to the bathroom. Okay, I need to sort of check out where my gate is. I have no idea where my gate is, to be honest. I've been trying to find like the board. Here it is. Okay, it looks like I'm here really early. They don't even have my flight in the screen. And I kind of had some breakfast before I came in, to be honest. I had some cereal and some fruits, so I'm not that hungry. I would have probably sat down at a restaurant if I was hungry this morning. But I'm just trying to find like a nice little seat to just chill out. But you know, the thing with India is, I mean, no matter what airport you go to, especially like a big one like Hyderabad, which is such a big city with huge number of people living here, it's always busy. And I mean, all the seats are like always taken. And like sometimes I just want to go to like a nice little isolated area just so that I can get some time for myself, maybe do some reading. But it's a little bit hard to find that kind of place here. Let's see if I can find at least some corner where there aren't as many people. A lot of times people tend to like hang out around like these kind of areas where there are a lot of food available, and maybe also by where a lot of gates are. This one's a little bit empty. I'll come back here. This one's a little bit empty over here. I'll come back here if I don't find anything further down. Oh, they also have like a bookstore. I might actually check out some books. Although probably not, because I have a Kindle now. I used to buy books all the time, but now that, and then, you know, eventually got to a point where I travel a lot, and it was actually quite difficult to log around a book all the time. So instead, I got a Kindle, and the Kindle really helps because I can essentially get whatever book I want. This is actually a nice little area. It's very isolated. I like it. I don't know, I really like isolated areas because there's just not much noise. I can do my reading. I can just sort of rest, maybe listen to some music, and even like if I'm talking, it's a lot quieter when I'm in like a nice little area. Okay, this gate is going to Bangalore, but I'm just gonna chill out here anyways because this has a nice little quiet spot. Oh, this one seems like it has a nice cafe too. Check this out. Look at that. That's a pretty nice looking cafe. I may actually go get something from there later on. I have another like hour, at least an hour until I board. So I have a lot of time, to be honest. All right. See how empty this is? And this is like a little corner space here. This is literally the end of the airport, or end of this side of the airport. All right. Okay, so I guess I'll go through exactly how kind of I went through as I entered in the airport. Like I said, it was pretty crowded when I entered in, and because there's always like a massive line right outside the airport, because like I was saying earlier, in India, before you can enter in the airport, there's like a security guy that checks your passport and that checks your ticket. And if you don't have that, you can't enter in. So like I was saying, if you have a family member that just wants to give you a goodbye and help you check in, you can't do that. You just gotta wave your goodbyes to your family, friends, if they're coming at the airport, outside the airport. And so that's why there's a huge line, and just a lot of chaos, because a lot of family members are logging around outside in a huge, massive line. So I was sort of just focusing on that, and even as I entered in today, the airport check-in counters were so busy. I'm flying with INDIGO today, and I have checked in online, but for some reason, I'm not sure why, like I always have this problem with INDIGO that I never really get their boarding pass. So I had to go to like this self-check-in counter, and then print out a boarding pass. So here's what happens. Initially, like, even as you would walk into the airport, there's a separate line for people that have a boarding pass already and that only have a hand luggage. And I was in that category. I didn't have a boarding pass, but I think there was a kiosk outside where I could just print out the boarding pass. But the reason I didn't go to that entrance is because I wanted to go to this check-in counter and see if I could get better seats, because I didn't pay extra for seats. So I would just like the seat that I got was just randomly selected. So that's why I didn't take that lane. I took the lane and the entry of where I could actually go to the check-in counter of INDIGO. But once I got in, I realized how busy it was, and I was like, you know what, it's not worth it to wait for such a long time to just get better seats. It's just an hour and a half flight, so I'll suck it up. And I didn't, and I think I got an aisle seat at the end of the day, so it's not too bad. So then what I did was, there was a self-check-in kiosk right next to the check-in counter. I just printed off my boarding pass, because for some reason, like I was saying earlier, INDIGO doesn't send me like a e-boarding pass. I'm not really sure why. Like when I've traveled even within India, like Vistara, even Air India, I think I've also traveled Air Asia within India, and obviously international travels. Usually flights always send you a boarding pass when you check in. But I'm not sure why I always had this issue with INDIGO, and so I had to print out a physical boarding pass from the self-check-in counter or self-check-in kiosk, and then I didn't have any. I did have luggage. Like I was kind of thinking, I have a small luggage, so it's not a big deal. I could just take it as a hand carry. So, but I was like, if I get to a check-in counter, I might as well. I was thinking about just giving it through, and just picking it up in Ranchi, but there's just so much crowd, so I didn't want to. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna use this. Take this as a hand luggage. And then after that, after I got the boarding pass, then I went straight to security, and the security was actually less busy than I thought it would be, because usually the security check-ins here are also super busy. But thankfully, I think I got I got a little lucky, because there were like two different security screening, and then the one guy was like, go to the other one, which was busy, and I saw the other one on the left, which was not busy. I'm like, no, I want to go to this one, and he's like, no, go to this one. I was like, why? This is empty. I want to go here. And he's like, all right, fine, you can come in. I'm not really sure why they were asking people to go to the busier security check-in than the more empty one. Anyways, so let me just check the time. Okay, so essentially, yeah, that's what happened, and I got another. So my flight's in about an hour and 50 minutes. I think the boarding probably starts in about what, maybe 50 minutes. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Like when I checked the screen over there, it didn't really even show my flight, to be honest. Yeah, the boarding time is 45 minutes before departure, actually. So I have about an hour before the flight even boards. So I got a lot of time. And you know what? That cafe that I saw earlier? I'm gonna go check out that cafe. Maybe I can get some coffee. And it looked like a nice cafe too. I feel like I've seen that cafe out in the streets in Hyderabad. I might have I been to that cafe? Let me just take a look. It definitely looks like a nice cafe for sure. So I'm gonna go check out this cafe and maybe get some coffee. Okay, this is the cafe I'm talking about. It's called Kansu. And this is like right in the corner of the Hyderabad Airport. Hello, do you guys have coffee, by the way? Okay, so you only have cappuccino? Oh, cool. Okay, here's the coffee menu. Could I have... Can I have the salted caramel cappuccino, please? $3.26. I'll pay by phone pay, please. What's the total again?
326.
326? Okay. Okay. Yeah, is that good? Okay. Thanks so much. Like, it's not that big of a markup here in the airport, because generally, remember when I was in Addis Ababa and the airport food was super expensive, so it's definitely not like that here in India. It's like, check this out here. This looks like a new gate maybe that they're building up, so this is under construction, it seems like. And now a lot of people figured out my little secret spot, so a lot of people are actually coming through here. Okay, I think they're almost done with my coffee. This is their Instagram, Kansu Hyderabad. Oh, thank you so much.
Good?
Yes, yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much. Okay, now that I have coffee, I need to figure out a way to hold a camera. Check this out. So this is a little electric vehicle advertisement, and I've seen a lot of advertisement here. I'm not sure if you can see from camera. So I've seen a lot of advertisement in India nowadays with a lot of electric vehicle, which is awesome. They're trying to encourage a lot of people to buy electric vehicles now. Okay, so here is the coffee from Kansu. It's pretty good coffee, I like it. I always like caramel, to be honest. Alright, I'm just still finishing coffee. Still about 30 minutes probably till I need to head to the gate. And this is like a really like isolated place right now. Check this out. Okay, let me see if I can flip the camera. So this is where everyone is. And then there's this little corner with only 2 seats available. And I guess it's because it's being renovated here. But literally only 2 seats available. And the great thing is there's also this little board right up here. So I'm going to try to see if I can find Ranchi. in here. Okay, now this is in Telugu. I can't read this. Ranchi. Okay, it should be. Okay, come on. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's gate 18. If you can see it there, I might start heading there. It's definitely not boarded yet. And this is a nice window that is really nice to take a look at some flights. So the Vistara is one of the flights I've been in before in India. And look at that little, I don't know if the camera captures this, but there's a little like really tiny plane over there. But yeah, if you end up coming to Hyderabad Airport and you want some privacy, this is a great spot, because literally there's just 2 seats right there, and there's nothing else. There's nobody else that essentially can even come close to you, because there are no other seats right there. And this is at the end. And you know, the other thing I just found out is that because this is being renovated, so they actually have different places for you to visit if you visit Telangana. So just FYI, Telangana is the state that Hyderabad is in. So Hyderabad is a city. I think it's the capital city of Telangana, or it's the biggest city at least. I'm not sure if it's the capital or not, but it's definitely the biggest in Telangana. And these are all the places that I guess you should visit. And the first one right there is Thousand Pillars Temple. This one is Alampur. And this one is Warangal Fort. This one is Ramappa Temple. And you have Medak Cathedral. And you have Sri Sailam. And funny enough, I have not been to any of them. So I clearly need to do a little bit more traveling around Telangana. I haven't even heard of any of these, to be honest. But this is definitely cool that they are sharing this for the public. It says the jewels of Telangana. Oh, and I just realized I'm in gate 15, so I'm not too far from gate 18. So these are the water fountains. We're going to actually flip it. I kind of forget how to use this camera sometimes. So they have these water fountains, which are actually quite nice, to be honest. And I feel like India has a lot of development, and even the airport. Look at how, I don't know how clearly the camera captures it, but the airport here is actually pretty nice as well. And with the water fountain, like typically I would still not recommend you to drink tap water in India, but like the water fountains in the airport is definitely good for drinking for sure. Okay, so these are some of the shops. Oh, this is a little bookstore. I want to go take a look and see if they also have Krispy Kreme donuts. Okay, let's see what books they have here. Even if I read Kindle nowadays, I still like to go to bookstores because I can sort of see like what's out, what are some new books, and then I just buy from my Kindle instead of getting a physical book. Although I do like physical books sometimes, to be honest. I sort of miss it nowadays. I don't get to read as much in a physical book. So I've read this one before. This is called Kafka on the Shore. I have not read this one, The Archer. This is by Paulo Coelho. Okay, I'm gonna flip the camera. So these are some of the books that's out here. And you also see a lot of books that are written by Indian authors, which is kind of nice because you don't really get to see much when you travel out of India. or when you're outside of India, you don't get to see as many Indian authors. So it's nice to be able to come to like an Indian bookstore and see some Indian authors as well. I used to read a lot more, but I don't get a chance to read as much these days, just because, yeah, I guess partly it's because it's me being lazy, to be honest. Not that I wouldn't say it's because I don't have time. I can always create time, but I just, I don't know, I sort of choose to use my time somewhere else instead of actually reading a book, which is something that I want to change. And it definitely is a lot easier when you have some like a reading buddy or something like that, because when there's someone else that's reading with you and you're kind of sharing what's happening in a book, you sort of are committed to actually read. Okay, now you can probably hear a lot more noise now because we're back in the crowded area. I need to go to my gate because it's about time for me to board. And that is, oh, check this out. Okay, so I didn't take a video of it when I went to this store in Hyderabad, but this one's actually a really nice sweet shop. And when I was in Hyderabad, I didn't take a video of it. That was, I think, before I started actually taking my camera with me when I was traveling. But I might go back to Dadu's when I come back here, or maybe if I see it in Ranchi or somewhere else. Where's gate 18 now? Gate 20? Oh, where's 18? Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, gate 18 is where there's so many people. Okay. It's actually right next to Dadu's. I didn't see the gate. I just want to make sure it's still going to Ranchi. Sometimes they change the gate last minute, so you sort of need to keep an eye out, making sure that you're entering the right gate. I think this is going to Ranchi. I think this is going to Ranchi. It's not boarding yet, so I'm just gonna wait for a bit. But there's a lot of people here in this flight. Yes, this is going to Ranchi, but it hasn't started boarding yet, so that means I can sort of roam around a little bit more. And okay, there's a lot of people, so I'll just let people board and then I'm gonna jump in. So one secret, if you are traveling on an airplane and if you don't have like a big luggage, and especially if you just have like a handbag, I mean, I do have a little luggage today, so I might not board last, but if you just have a hand luggage and you're not sitting in the exit seat, then, and you know, you already have your boarding pass, there's no reason for you to rush to enter in the flight, because your seat is already reserved for you, and you can actually, if you just have a little backpack, you can actually put the backpack under your seat or in front of your seat, which means that you don't even need to worry about the cabin being full or the cabin luggage space being full. So a little secret for you, if you want to get out of all the chaos and the crowd, the best way to do it is let people board first, let them all go, and then you can just casually walk in. It also means that you don't need to rush. You can actually come into the airport a little bit later too, because you don't need to actually rush to get to the boarding gate on time. And usually, like, they always, by the time the last person boards, it always takes at least 30 minutes for people to finish boarding, maybe sometimes even more, especially when there's a big crowd like this. It's gonna take a while for the boarding to finish. So if you just have a backpack, just go in last. And for me, I have a little luggage today, so I don't know if I want to like go in the flight at least with some cabin space, like a cabin luggage space, so I can put my luggage up in the cabin, because I can't keep my luggage under the seat. I can keep my backpack under the seat, but yeah. Okay, so this is it. They also have a little idli factory. I haven't really shown you how idli looks like in India. For those that like idli, that's great. I think you know, idli is one of those kind of food that requires you to like really get used to the food. It's like an acquired taste, and it's not like I can't eat it at all, but I wouldn't pick idli over, you know, if it's something else that I like, I'd go for something else than idli. But I know some people really like idli, especially people in Hyderabad. They seem to really like idli and dosa, and I haven't really gone to a very local Hyderabadi shop with my camera, so I need to sort of show you exactly what it looks like. And this is like, all of a sudden when you come back to where I was earlier, it's so nice and quiet. So I definitely like this place. I'm just gonna wait until it starts boarding, and then I'm gonna go back to my gate. They have a little gadget studio here too. Check this out. They have a little gadget studio. They got Krispy Kreme over there. They have that bookstore that I was in just there. They also have a nice little lounge right next door to the bookstore. And I'm still trying to figure out like how the lounge access works. I've heard that you can get free lounge access if you get a certain kind of credit card, or if you have a certain kind of card in India, but I haven't really figured that out yet. I need to probably take some time to understand that, because I travel quite a lot even within India as I'm doing this project, and it really helps if I have free lounge access sometimes. At least today I got a chance to have some breakfast, but sometimes if I'm traveling and if I have a hectic schedule, I don't always get a chance to eat beforehand. And a lot of times these domestic flights, they don't offer food in the flight either, and even if they do, it's just like a sandwich, you know, something really small. So I think being and eating in a lounge before would be so nice. And this one looks like a really nice lounge too. It has a pub, it has drinks, it even has dinner. I'm gonna flip over the camera. You can probably see it here. It says Cock and Bull. We saw this earlier as well. And there's a lot of noise, so I don't know if you can hear me that well.
All passengers are requested to proceed to gate number 50.
One of our projects takes place in the state of Jharkhand. The Jharkhand is the state that Ranchi is in, and Ranchi is the capital city, or at least it's the biggest city in Jharkhand. It's not a big airport, but I feel like it's decent, you know. The international side of Hyderabad is definitely a lot bigger, has more stuff, but this is not too bad either. Ooh, that's dosa right here. That's someone else having dosa. That's dosa right there. I'm gonna have that some other day and then show you and kind of give you my review on what I think of dosa. It's a hit or miss for me. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't, depending on like where the dosa is made. And our gate hasn't started boarding yet, so I just came in through the gate and we're just waiting here to get on the flight. And funny enough, I'm actually one of the last ones to board on the flight, or at least like to get in from the gate, because I had to go to the bathroom quick. And then before I went to the bathroom, there's like huge lines. I was like, there's gonna be plenty of time for me to get in. And then when I got in, I was literally the last one to come through, or second to last. I'm flying from Hyderabad to Ranchi, and when I was actually booking at the flight, it seemed like there was like only one flight a day that went from Hyderabad to Ranchi, and there was also like another route which would take me through another airport in India. So it was like, I think through Delhi or something like that. I don't remember the other cities that I had to go through. I'll just talk about this later. This is what the crowd looks like, and that's the Air India flight.
Like 996 will be refunded for this one. I don't know how you make the 900 something. I don't know refunded 270. Because when I get when I resettle to Chennai, it's refunded 300 something.
Sorry. Kind of forgot to press the record button earlier. So I am up here in the air, we've taken off, and I was just saying that I was really tired because I actually fell asleep the entire takeoff because I woke up pretty early today because the traffic in Hyderabad sometimes can get a little crazy during rush hour, and had some work to do last night as well, so I didn't really get the best sleep. And I'm just waiting for my food because I'd ordered a vegan meal here in the flight, so I'm not sure when they will bring out the vegan meal, or maybe they'll bring it out right now because there's someone right here, so I feel like she might give me my meal right now. And this is kind of what Indigo flight seat looks like. And you'll also notice like they have English here, and they also have Hindi here as well, because Hindi is the official language of India. Even though not everyone speaks Hindi, I think Hindi is like official language of India along with English. So you'll always see Hindi and English usually in most flights. Not just in Indigo, but also in Vistara that I've taken before as well. Hey, is this my meal? Yes, okay, awesome. Thanks so much. So this is the vegan meal that I've ordered. Thanks so much.
What beverage would you like to have, sir?
What do you have? What options do you have?
Would you want something like hot or cold?
I would like something cold if you have something cold.
I have Coke, mango smoothie, mixed fruit juice, cold coffee.
Ooh, I'll have some smoothie. What kind of smoothie do you have?
Mango.
Sure, I'll have the mango smoothie. Okay, this is what I've got. Oh, cheers. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Alright, so this is the meal here in Indigo flight. And I chose the vegan option. I'm not a vegan, I definitely eat meat. But, you know, I wanted to try something different today. And for some reason or another, I just felt like the non-vegetarian meal didn't sound appetizing. So I'm going to try to see what this one looks like. Okay. So it's 2 dips with baked pita. Looks like it's pita bread. Okay. I'm going to tilt it here. Oh, wow, looks pretty interesting. I'll flip the camera. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So there's the pita, and then they have 2 dips. Oh, I see. Okay, so there's the dips for the pita, and then they also give a mango smoothie as well. Well, let's take a look and I guess taste it out. I'm gonna just clear this up quickly. Okay. I definitely like the presentation of the meal, so I'm gonna try and see how this pita bread tastes like. Okay, so they have the orange dip and then they have the white dip. It looks like hummus, but I'm not really sure what kind of dips these are, so let's give it a shot. And these are vegan, so no meat here. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna try this out. This is the orange dip with the pita bread. It's pretty good, actually. You know, it just tastes very healthy. Okay, so that was the orange dip. Now I'm gonna try the white dip. This one right here. I'll try this dip. white dip definitely tastes like hummus. The orange dip also kind of tastes like hummus, but I think it's a different flavored hummus. But the thing with this meal though, I'm going to show you, is that they only gave 3 pieces of pita bread. So essentially, I had 2 pieces, I only have 1 piece left. And I still got a lot of dip left. Okay, so I'm going to use a fork. Because I can't really grab it, to be honest. And I feel like they're not going to give me an extra pita bread probably, because it comes out as a meal, so I don't think they're going to open up another meal for a pita bread for me. But it's actually pretty good, to be honest. Much better than I expected. So this flight is, I'd say, about probably like 80 to 90% full. And like I was saying, the other thing I was saying as I was boarding the flight, and then there was one guy that was talking, so I said I'd continue this later, is I'm flying right now from Hyderabad to Ranchi, which is in Jharkhand, and I looked at the flights, and there was only one flight a day that was direct non-stop to Ranchi, but it was a lot more, like, that was pricier than the other flight that I could have taken, which would have been with a layover in another city in India. I decided to take a non-stop flight just because it would save me a lot of time. The other flight, if I had stopped somewhere else, it would have been like a 9-hour journey, I think, because the layover would have been like 3, I would have to wait in the other airport for about 3 hours or so, and then, like the hours of the flight as well. So I chose the non-stop flight, but it was almost like double the price of the flight that would have been cheaper if I stopped somewhere else. And it seems like it's not as regular as some of the other flights. So for example, if you go from here to, like, Delhi or some other metropolitan cities, you have a lot of flights every day, and a lot of airlines also fly to those cities. What I noticed about Ranchi, from Hyderabad at least, there was just one flight, INDIGO flight, that goes direct. I think there was an Air Asia flight as well that would stop somewhere else and take us to Ranchi, but INDIGO was the only flight that would take us directly from Hyderabad to Ranchi. Let me finish my food here, and then I'm also going to try the mango smoothie. So when the lady said she had smoothie, I got really excited for a second, because I was like, oh, this is fresh smoothie. And then it hit me, I was like, there's no way she's gonna make fresh smoothie for me, so it's just like a bottled up smoothie. It says mango smoothie from Sunfest. Never tried this one before, so I'm gonna give it a shot. I do like mangoes, but let's see how the smoothies are. So I'd say, if I was to rate this dipping, I'd say the orange dipping is definitely like A+ for sure. I love the orange dipping. The white hummus, not the best hummus I've had, to be honest, but it's okay. But overall, the vegan meal wasn't that bad. I'd say, like, it was a little bit not as filling, and I'd say the pita breads was not enough as well. It was just 3 pieces of pita breads, like really, really tiny pieces of pita breads. Okay, that's my meal done. I'm gonna try this mango Sunfest. So it has chunks of mangoes in it too. It's decent. It's kind of like a mango juice. I guess it's a little bit thicker than mango juice. That's why it's called a mango smoothie. But it's alright. I'd say not the best one I've had, but I guess it'll do for now. Oh, and then also, I'll tell you how much extra I paid for this food. The flight was already pretty expensive compared to the other flight that would have been cheaper if I had stopped somewhere else. And I think I had to pay maybe around like an additional 300 to 500, something like that, for the meal. And to be honest, I think it's worth it, you know, like, because I did have breakfast, but I didn't really get a chance to eat much at the airport, and I wasn't really that hungry at that point as well. And then this is a pretty long flight. It's about almost 2 hours, 1 hour 45 minutes, I think, total. So I think it makes sense to actually have this ready, and because I ordered it beforehand, they can also have a vegan meal of my choice. I don't know if this is something that I actually picked, but I think I just selected a vegan meal. But at least they have it in stock for you when you select it ahead of time. And you can still buy stuff on the flight, but you might not have all the options that you'd like in the flight. And I'm not also sure if you can hear me or not, because there's obviously noise from the airlines. So I'm trying to speak a little bit loudly, but there are people around me, so I don't want to speak too loudly either. I don't know if you give me the here one. Here's the button. I don't know if you proceed and take the camera. If I shoot from the front end, I could have on going right through the roof. But I decided to back exit. So I have ended up coming on the bus. I didn't have seen before. Here's the front exit. Just take right through. They just drove down the back when the back exit. So I sure hope they open up back the exit more. Right, alright. Let's get going. Okay, so I'm now in Ranchi in in a cab. So, and you know, as I was coming out of the airport of Ranchi Airport, I did take a video, and for some reason my audio didn't come out great. So I'm going to maybe show you some clips of what the airport is like, but the audio doesn't come out great, unfortunately. And this is again the issue that I'm having with this camera. So anyways, once I came out of Ranchi Airport, once I landed, we took the bus because we came in from the back of the plane, and then the bus dropped us in the arrival gate. And then, you know, I didn't have any luggages to pick up because I only had a hand carry, so it was pretty straight out for me. And there were a lot of people waiting outside the gate, outside the arrival gate, for people to, you know, it's whether it's drivers or like family members, a lot of people waiting outside. But overall, a pretty small airport actually. Like, it literally, the only reason it took so long is because there were so many people for me to get out. Otherwise, it would have been super quick. And I feel like if I took the front gate, the front exit of the plane, because I took the back exit, so we had to take the bus. The front exit actually took straight into the airport, so they had the little walkway, and it took straight into the arrival gate, so that probably would have been a lot quicker. But it was very quick, very fast, very small airport, so I like it actually, because it saves a lot of time. I think the airport that's sometimes the most annoying in India is Delhi, because it's such a big airport. I mean, it's a great airport, it's a super massive airport, but like whenever I land, whether it's domestic or international, when you land in Delhi, like the walk from the arrival gate to the exit gate, or like to the baggage claim area, is it takes forever. It's such a long walk. So I like small airports like this. But anyways, I was just saying, I mean, unfortunately, like some of the clips might not be clear. At least I still have the video. The audio didn't come out great, unfortunately. So I still need to sort of figure out like why this keeps happening. And since I'm traveling, so I gotta just do the best I can with what I have. But overall, the flight with Indigo was cool. You know, like the food was good, better than I expected, and I think also pretty clean, right? Like I'm sure you saw some clips in the video too. Like I felt, you know, overall, like Indigo has a pretty clean airlines as well. And yeah, I'm going to be taking some other flights. I'm going to take you with me there, and of course, as I travel around Jharkhand, I'm going to take you with me too. So thank you so much for your support. Please don't forget to subscribe, maybe share with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next video.